There was only ever one man who was going to star in this week's Gold. He may have had bigger fights against better opponents, but when the Great One stepped into the ring to defend his heavyweight title against Cleveland Williams in 1966, his feet would never again dance so beautifully, or his hands move so quickly.
Less than a minute to go in the round. Williams got in his first punch, the left jab. So far. Williams bleeding slightly from the nose. Now it's bleeding a little more. A testimony to Clay's sharp jab. That's the Ali shuffle. Williams is getting an awesome going over here in the second round with less than a minute to go. Williams down on the short right. There are 40 seconds left to go in the round. Taking the mandatory 8 count. 33 seconds left. Seconds left. 7, 8. He takes the mandatory 8 count. There's no 3 knockdown rule here. Down to 40 time. The bell will ring. Cleveland Williams is saved by the bell. The count does not continue by the bell. Down for the fourth time. 6, 7, 8. Harry Kessler wipes off the glove. 2 minutes and 15 seconds left. Williams gamely fights back. Third round, and the champion Cassius Clay will defend that title once again.